Hello, viewers. Now, my name's Rose Ndungekisia, and I am a life skill coach. Now, today, I wanted to talk a little about being of service. And I know many people will be interested in this subject. This is an area where we do a lot of coaching on with workers of all categories, from the CEOs to managers to the subordinate workers. Now, let's start from the time we're maybe young people. We start off with being sent maybe by our parents. Maybe you're a big brother, and then you're sent to help your little brother. Yeah. Or maybe you're sent to the shops, or maybe to do some chores in the house. Yeah. So you start serving when you're very young. Yeah. You start serving, helping with the work in the house, helping your parents with this and that. And then you go to school, and majorly you go to school because you want to learn something, so that at least you can be one of the service providers when you're of age. And most of us, we go to school. At the moment, this is what is happening. People go to school and they do the due diligence. They pass the exams. They do whatever it is that they are required to do. And then they get out of the system, the schooling system, and now they're available to provide certain services. And majority of the people will be looking for employments, maybe if they can get a job somewhere so that they can earn a living, because they're of age now. They don't need to depend on their parents. And hapo ndio kizungumkuti inaanza hapo. Now, when we are available to provide that service, and we don't find employment maybe, or something that is maybe worthy of our time, because maybe you went to school to study engineering, and then the jobs that are available are maybe cleaning jobs, and then you imagine maybe this is not worthy of my time. Yeah, that's what I mean by saying, if a job that is worthy of your time. And you find that there's a little bit of the availability of jobs, it's a little bit scarce. But then again, we look at this phrase in the Bible, which goes that kazi ni mingi, wafanyikazi ni kidogo. Meaning there is just so much work, but the workers are few. It's there, it's in the Bible. And you imagine, what is this? That there's so much work, and then the workers are few. Yeah. Maybe if we look at that and we hold it as a truth, maybe there's something that we are not doing right, and that we could actually do, or that will bring that work to be, there's plenty of work. Yeah. Maybe we have skewed our ways of thinking to a certain way, and maybe not being broad enough to see how we can actually be of service, and how we can be productive, and how we can get the rewards of our labor. So now I wanted to talk a little about that. Yeah. First and foremost, yeah, when we are available to be of service, it is important to see what gifts you have. What is it that you love doing? Yeah. And even if you need to do something else, but have a plan on what it is that you love doing. Yeah. Look at it like, because obviously you have to eat, maybe you have to pay rent, maybe you need to just be comfortable in your living. Yeah, so I know I've changed my position. It's beginning to rain a little, and it's okay. This is a beautiful place, Mama Africa Retreats. Okay, so that bit, I want to talk a little about that bit where they say there's plenty of work and the workers are few. How is it that that can actually be possible when our young people are looking for jobs all over the place? Yeah. And sometimes we maybe can broaden our way of thinking, yeah, and say, you know what, let me take on this challenge that there's plenty of work and see. Let me go around, yeah. And sometimes we we're looking for money, yeah. We're looking for money, and we're not looking for how can I serve. Yeah. I know it sounds something else for somebody out there looking for a job, you know, but sometimes we bring our mind to think along one certain way. Yeah. When we think along just one certain line, and then we don't know much, we are expecting that somebody else is supposed to open up that line for me. Somebody else is supposed to give me that work. Somebody else is supposed to employ me. And then it doesn't happen. We now start becoming powerless because we imagine that it is a duty of another, maybe a duty of the government, a duty of an employer somewhere to give us the jobs. Yeah. Then what happens is that we feel powerless because the other person out there who's supposed to give us those jobs is maybe not doing that. And we imagine that that person should be actually doing that. There should be jobs available out there for us to take up. But little do we know that we are the creators. We are the creators of the jobs. Yeah? There's just so much to be done. We create the scarcity and we create the abundance. I know it sounds very controversial. Yeah, here we are, our young people after going to school and then they don't find work. And here I am saying that we are the ones who create the jobs and we are the ones who create scarcity and abundance. All that I'm saying is that we are at the source of creation. Yeah, we are the source of creation. And sometimes as a person, one can think, what is it? Or maybe when things are not working properly, what is it that I can do that can give me an opportunity for me to serve? Because like sometimes we look at serving and we look at money and we want money to pay rent. We want money to buy food. We want money to maybe buy some new clothes. And we find that we do not have this money. And we can't think about serving. We can't think about serving when on an empty stomach. And so we sit and wait for that person out there to have mercy on us and give us a job. Maybe it's a government, maybe it's somebody who has an industry or whatever. And obviously we can't fit in, all of us, we can't fit in there. So what's the solution? The reason for me making this video is because I wanted for us to find a solution to that state of that quagmire, that space where we don't even know, we can't move forward, we can't move backward, we don't even know what it is that we are supposed to do. We are expected to have resources and to take care of ourselves as a person. But here we've done the things we thought or we were told that we should do: go to school, pass your exams, and you're going to get a good job. But a good job is, according to what we think a good job is, it's not forthcoming. So what is it that we are supposed to do? How do we work out this one? Yeah, how do we work out this one? First and foremost, we need to find what it is that we are gifted in. Yeah, what it is that we are gifted in early enough. And I think it is prudent for parents to also encourage their children to look at what it is their children are gifted at. Yeah. And in doing that, I remember when we were young, my dad was about reading and studying and nothing else. And because he believed that at the end of the day, if we pass our exams and we get our qualifications and everything, we are good. He will have given his children a good thing. And I think that's a beautiful thing for a father to think along that line. But then all of us cannot fit into being doctors. All of us cannot fit into being lawyers. All of us cannot fit into being pilots or maybe teachers. And some people have to do some other things. Yeah. And some people are gifted in other things. Some people are gifted in maybe playing football. And some people are gifted in singing. Others are beautiful comedians. Others will sit behind the screen, a computer screen, and do wonderful things. Yeah. And so, and others will do farming and this and that. So we are all gifted in different ways. And there's some things that people love more than maybe other things. Yeah. And so it is important for people to realize and to see, and maybe the parents to encourage them on the things that they are actually gifted in. Because the world is changing. We are not all of us going to fit into an industry where you're getting employment like it used to be a long time ago. Yeah. People have to now start creating their jobs. Yeah. Looking for what it is. Maybe you love painting. Yeah. As you maybe get a job to do something that is not in your gifting area, you can plan on that which you're gifted in. Maybe the gifting thing is not really at the moment giving you the resources that you need, or maybe it's not giving you anything because nobody knows about, and you have to advertise yourself and this and that, and maybe you require resources to do that, and you don't have those resources. It is important, first and foremost, to value that which you're gifted in. Yeah. To actually value that. Some people are good in running. Just run. Do the running in your extra time. And I know a lot of successful athletes who have done odd jobs along the way as they were doing their practices, because obviously they needed to live, they needed to feed themselves. And so it is important I think, for people to realize that just like when you were a young person with your parents and your mother or your father sends you to the shop, and you didn't expect to be paid anything. Yeah. You did that. Yeah. And so when we are to be of service, sometimes we can do work on voluntary basis just to enhance our skills. Yeah. And maybe we can do odd jobs, maybe something that you think may not be worthy of your, at the end of the day, you're just doing that for a period of time. It is important for people to engage in serving. Yeah. Engage in serving, even if in that serving you will not get money. It is important because in serving, when you give yourself in that work, you start realizing who you truly are. Yeah. Say, for example, let me give this example of, Eliud Kipchoge? Eliud Kipchoge is the guy, the Kenyan man who ran 1 hour, 59 minutes, a marathon of, I think, 42 kilometers. And Eliud Kipchoge, he knew that he can run fast. And he knew that he can do wonderful things, yeah, in the track and field. And he decided, I will do that. And not that he was coming from a very rich family, that he had time and all that. He probably was doing odd jobs, yeah, to come and start winning at the races and all that. But he gave his time. And everyone was, researchers, scientists were saying that it is impossible to run 159. Yeah, 1 hour, 59 minutes. It was impossible for a human being to attain that. But he gave himself to that. He gave all his time to that. And at the end of the day, he achieved something other than just the money. He achieved something. He inspired all of us. It's like what we thought was impossible is actually possible. And even him, Ali didn't know that he was actually capable of doing that before he managed to do that. So he pulled and he pulled and he pulled and he achieved that. And so what I would say is that if we can give ourselves to the intentions of the game of being that service provider, whatever service it is, yeah, whatever service it is, most of the time we look at the jobs available, and we think this is not even worth of my time. I went to school, I got my qualifications as an engineer, I'm not getting a job anywhere, and here I'm supposed to do what? Maybe do some other weird, according to maybe myself, I would say, or weird jobs, maybe sweeping all over the place. But then, what is the intention of your life? Yeah? What is the intention of your life? To be a service provider. And if somebody else does not give you the opportunity to be that service provider, so who will give you that opportunity to be a service provider? You will have to give yourself that opportunity. And you will have to come back to you and say, you know what? I am powerful. I was created. If God created me to be an engineer, and then I will be. Yeah? I will provide those services because I have the know-how. I can do it. And so in your search, because nothing is found just like that. When you're looking for gold, you don't find it just everywhere. You have to dig for it. Yeah. So anything, you have to take your time to be present as you're doing that and find it. And most of the time, it is actually within ourselves. Yeah. Because you get the revelations. Yeah. You get the revelations. I remember when my son finished university, when after after doing his internship, he qualified as a doctor, and after doing his internship, he couldn't find a job, and he walked everywhere. He walked everywhere. Nairobi, the entire of Nairobi, all the hospitals in Nairobi, he walked. He was like, "Mommy, I can't find a job." And so I asked him to come with me to our rural home. And we were in the farm. He also looked for the jobs around in the rural area. And he couldn't find a job. And I said, come with me to the farm. It was the time of, I think, the time when there was Corona. And so I had gone to the rural area to just take a break. And so he came with me, and then we were in the farming. I remember we were planting vegetables. And so I said to him, let's just do this work. It's okay. Let's just do this work. Just make yourself useful here. And we did that. And as we were doing that, he said, let me go check my phone. He went and checked his phone. He found there was a missed call, and somebody was calling him for a job. So sometimes when we are being of service, yeah, we are providing a certain service. And then sometimes putting money equation out of the way, things start opening up. Yeah, things will definitely start opening up. So it is important, first and foremost, to find what it is that we love doing. Yeah. And then be of service there. Ask. Sometimes when we sit down alone and we're thinking alone, we get stuck. Talk to somebody about it. Tell somebody that you're willing to do this. Tell somebody that you're willing to help with any other work. Yeah. I remember being told a story by one of my friends, and she was like, there's this guy who used to be a sweeper in the school, but he loved singing. Yeah. And he once got an opportunity. Yeah. He found an opportunity, and he took on that opportunity where when the school was singing, the children were doing their practices. And he said, I can do this. And he did it. He sang. And everybody was like, what? Skay. He never at any time dropped his desire to do that job, to do what it is that he was gifted at. Yeah. He wasn't finding opportunities for him to sing, but when he saw it, he took on that opportunity and he sang. And they won. The school won, and he became a popular person in the singing industry. And so it is important, first and foremost, for us to give ourselves into that being of service and be that service provider. Drop the money issue first, yeah, and just do it. Yeah, just do it. If you can work on your gifts, something will open up. Don't depend on somebody else to come to your aid. Just know that there's a God in you. The Bible says the kingdom of God is within. And I think most of the time we miss out on a lot of things because we have substituted our power with money. Yeah? We have substituted our power with money. How is that so? Sometimes we are zooming on money. I will do anything for money. Yeah, because money will give me food, money will give me a home, money will give me this and that. Not knowing that we are creators of everything, including that money. Yeah, we are creators of anything. And we can create that money if we look inward and say, you know what? I want to do this. I want to build a house. I want to start a business. And then go into yourself and ask and say, this is what I'm doing, business, this and that. And walk that path. Even when money is out of sight, just serve in that area. Find a way to serve and to walk that path, because the Bible says, again, I quote the Bible, faith without action is dead. So we need to walk the path. The path is made by walking. So we need to walk that path so that we can create the path for ourselves. And so that is one that I wanted for us to know. Let's do that. Let's not depend on other people to employ us. Because I think in the ancient times, I think we used to take care of our own selves. We used to plant. We used to, if it is harvesting gold or whatever, if it's something that we need that we do not have, and maybe my neighbor has or somebody else has, and maybe we can exchange that with the things that we have. And I think we did well. Yeah, I know we cannot go back to that age when we were doing barter trade. We've gone a long way. But we can also bring back those concepts, the concepts where people were serving. Yeah, in all areas of life, they were serving. And if we can now start serving without looking so much into the money issue, I think we will have kind of like, well, how would I say? We would have broken this thing of following money only. Yeah, I think we will do something to maybe take us away from idolizing money, because we have, and we have given all our power to money.